guests make their way into the space, and you only resume your seats once the guests are seated, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let us rise to our feet.
To welcome you to this ceremony in which we officially launch in our great municipality the winning innovation in this year's secondary school winning innovation competition. On this occasion, we shall present a prize to our very own students here at Samaritan Secondary School, Alvita and Montana. We thank you very much, Your Worship, for gracing this event. Now, without much further ado, I will welcome Chalikol, our ethics and innovation teacher, to take us through the innovation.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am most honored to present this innovation that has captured the imagination of our whole municipality. I couldn't think of a better way to present it than through a short skit that Alvita, Montano, and I will stage. Welcome.
What can we do as a society to ensure you have a bright future? Because right now it seems extremely bleak. I should think about it.
How do you know my future is extremely bleak?
Well, yesterday I was seated under the tree behind our classroom. Thank you.
And then?
And then I traveled into the future. About 50 years from now. And I saw you working. Yes, you are working. But as a cobbler. You look severely battered and your nose was permanently running. I never thought you'll never come to see another day.
Me? A gobbler? Was it a nightmare or hallucination that you had, Montano?
Oh no, Alvita. It is called traveling into the future. You close your eyes and try to figure out your future given the current and past trends in our municipality. But you can also travel into the past. One time, I traveled into the past until I was back in my mother's home. And I sat there, mesmerized. It was very black inside
What
there.
a strange thing to do, but the problem is safe.
You see, you are actually fortunate enough to have a source of income as a cobbler at that time. Millions of youths were loitering aimlessly without gainful employment. All of them looked poor, hungry, and hungry.
You can really You made it all my education, I couldn't get a good job.
You see, our government has been and is still producing more graduates each year, other than the number of jobs it is able to create. What do you think will be the situation of our 50 years period? Well, I was in no better position myself. I was earning my source of my livelihood as a bandit in a not so popular band in the city at that time. But joblessness was not my main concern.
What is the main
The way your nose was running. As if your drums were played in the middle of your head. I never thought you would never see another day.
And why am I was my nose running?
I think it was because of the bad smell in the cities. At that time, all cities had a bad stench because cleaning water was very scarce.
And why was there no water?
Climate change. Climate change had occasioned unpredictable weather patterns. It was hardly raining anymore. It was raining only once in a year, and for at most 10 minutes. So, the new climate could hardly support plants or even animal life.
So you mean all the plants and animals?
All of them. So the new climate. This made the people. They started eating strange things like insects, crawling creatures, and other creatures that could survive the harsh climatic conditions. But even those were scarce in supply too. So a majority of them started eating plastics, synthetic fibers, and other desserts I couldn't afford to at that time. I remember seeing you chewing a dirty plastic bag at one point.
You make it sound like life will just in 50 years.
You are very right. In fact, life expectancy has dropped drastically. You see, today, people are able to live up to 70 or 80 years at most. But in that future, people are only able to live up to 30 or 40 years at most.
And why were they dying so much?
Diseases and malnutrition, the new climate, make the people take the law into their own hands. They could no longer afford drugs. And crime was also too high. With people being slaughtered like chicken. Yes, what with all these criminal gangs in our municipality? In any case, law enforcers and judges could only serve those who grease their palms.
So?
The rest of the people are not having for justice and protection. They have to make their own private arrangements to get justice and protection. And that made the people take the law into their own hands. But that's pretty the situation today. It had only aggravated over 50 years period.
Well, I will tell you, my dear Montano. Lack of education is darker than night. I also traveled into the future. And I saw an entirely different world.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
People have become so creative in such a way that they are designed intelligent robots and machines, which replace professional like police officers and judges. So, law enforcement were rendered to people without any discrimination.
Now, Peter, tell me this. How can a robot or a machine simply enforce the law or even make a judgment?
Oh, yes, it can. Haven't you read about decision-making algorithms? If today a computer software can do a better job than an accountant, then I'm not suspicious in developing our own artificial police officers or a judge.
Oh, Alvita, what pipe dreams you entertain?
I also saw that life expectancy had increased to over 700 years. I remember seeing you, mistress. You look so young and beautiful at 200 years.
Get serious, Alvita.
You see, Montano, people have transformed human society so fundamentally in such a way that workers of knowledge us. Forget about cobblers and all that. Machines were doing all the work for us. All factories, hotels, hospitals were run by intelligent robots.
Alvita, come. That Scarlet Ibis patch for the school fence.
Yes, I do. Why?
Well, we better discuss which side of the fence the bird will fly when it eventually decides to fly, other than wasting our time on idle nuisance.
I agree with Montano because if hospitals today barely have enough medicines, how practical is it to think of a future where intelligent machines and robots will run them? From where will the resources come from?
You see me stress. The resources are there even today. We need to ensure that it is used for the right
And there lies the whole problem, Alvita. We will never
We
ever...
can find innovative ways to make this happen.
Impossible, how?
My friend and I developed an app, an innovation, to solve this problem.
Ah, then tell us about it.
It is an app, a simple mobile application, whereby people share text, videos, photographs, and all such, just like the other social media platforms. The only difference is that we went ahead and developed a digital pigeonhole of it.
And what does that really mean?
To understand this, think of a parliament where every member of parliament has a pigeonhole on the wall, where they receive letters, notifications, and all that. Take every municipal department with a pigeonhole, whereby they receive letters, notifications from the members of the public. This is what the app is all about. The only difference is that the pigeonhole is on digital, but the letters, notifications, and all other communication are on soft, rather than hard in a physical parliament.
Well, I think that makes sense. Have you tried it?
Yes, we initially deployed it in a trial run, whereby people took photographs and videos that degrade our own environment, provided details of locations and the people involved in it. The officials needed to log into the app and see what people are reporting. And this is still continuing.
Quite impressive, Alvita, but does it help in the proper use of public resources?
Oh yes, it is. People are now sharing information on the set. Take municipal procurement process, for example. People are now sharing information on how the tenders are awarded, who win the tenders, and whether those that win the tenders deliver the goods and services at quality and good price, and so on.
Now, to which municipal department would such
It
information
can be
belong?
posted in the Crimes and Integrity Commission in case of abuse of procurement process. So the beauty of it is that you share the information according to in your comfort of your home. You just need to download the app from the internet into your phone, create an account, then post whatever information you have to post in there.
Let us get this straight to the point. Huh? Where do they get the information on procurement, for example?
The people. The information is always with the people.
Which people? The people, of course. Don't you know the people?
Hey.
From the people. The information is always with the people. These are volunteers. The very good people who are able to give the information that advances the public good.
Are there any good people around here? I mean, how sure are you these people will not write lies?
People will take legal responsibility of what they post in the app according to the terms and conditions of the app. So, all the users take legal responsibility for what they post in the app.
Well, my people, thank you, Madam Principal, and all the teachers for your good work, which has won this school an outstanding reputation. The subject of today's event is another example of the school's outstanding performance. I'm genuinely impressed with the two students and Madam Nicole. I like the issues they have highlighted during their presentation. This is a clear indication that our schools are nurturing visionaries capable of solving our municipality practical problems. However, there can be no better resources for bettering our lives as a municipality and as a nation. And for that very fact, the Municipal Council will ensure the possibility of mobilizing resources to cater for this innovation in our schools, so as to actualize the future we heard about during the presentation. And I will also be impressed if you people come up with a medicine that will help me regenerate my body cells, that will enable me to live for 422 more years. Let us think mostly in that direction. However, I'm not going to launch this app nor present the award to the two students. Not because the app is terrible, no. It is in fact an outstanding app. So good that it could have far-reaching ramifications in other areas of our social, political, and economical areas. I now request all the teachers and students to leave us behind with Madam Principal and Teacher Nicole as we discuss the way moving forward with this incredible innovation. I'm afraid we may not go on with that thing. I've even forgotten it. What are you calling it?
But why, Your Worship? This is a blessing for our country.
Can't you see this will be a platform for spreading lies and misinformation? Someone spread a rumor that I had died by just sending some text messages on social media platforms. And do you know, that time I actually almost died. I swallowed a whole toothpick.
Oh yes, I see that is. They might spread another rumor on the platform and you might swallow another toothpick. Oh yes, you will.
And the way I see it, that app will be people's platform. And they will have far-reaching implications whether you load it or not.
I will think about it. I will launch it at my own convenient time. For now, have any activity regarding that thing until my office gives further guidance.
Your Worship, the President of the Republic is scheduled to soon launch this app early next year when the schools reopen. Actually, we have some activities in preparation for it. I know it's in this one now.
That's so?
The President...
But why have you kept us to the documents about this?
The mayor's office was duly informed, sir.
Yes, it was newly informed, but you never told me what kind of a thing it was. No, we just have to stop it.
Your Worship, I think that is beyond their power.
The thing we are talking about is a school project under their control. It is therefore within your powers to find a way around it. You are the center of it. Figure out a way like writing a letter to the Minister of Education, indicating that there are some fundamental errors you need to attend to.
I am afraid, Your Worship, that the assessment of the innovation was done by senior officers at the Ministry of Innovation, at the Ministry of Education. Experienced software engineers were also involved and no errors were found.
Listen to me, my good teacher. I am the mayor of this municipality, voted in by thousands and hundreds of voters directly and indirectly. My decision supersedes any of those educational officers anywhere in this country. Do as you are told. Go write a letter expressing the reservation of that thing and leave the rest to me.
Your Worship, but they cannot overrule their
I
minister.
cannot argue with a single chairman of a local school board. I let the public interest. That is what I'm doing and that is what I must do.
But, Your Worship, The National Information and Communications Technology Corporation has already taken over the app. There is little that you can do now.
Do as you are told. Go write a letter. I need to get a copy of my office through the school principal office. And I want to get that letter on my desk in an hour's time late.
I will do what is right.
I wonder if
So are you trying to challenge my authority?
No, I am not your worship. I just don't see sense in what you're suggesting.
Then just shut up your mouth if you have nothing useful to say.
I am almost just not doing. She never compromises on anything that she believes is right.
Do not be sure, just ensure that my orders are obeyed. Now therefore declare this meeting officially over.
Is it a new dawn that I now smell?
It smells like berries on cones of gold, delicacies of porcupines.
No doubt, the delicious new dawn in Hawaii.
Have you ever seen any dawn since you began smelling of them?
I have never been more hopeful.
Thank you for my call for this emergency meeting. As you all know, there is a new trend gaining popularity on our ground. We all thought it prudent that we come together, put our mind together and determine the way forward. Now to go straight to the point, has any one of you read about today's newspaper? Well, I asked Harvester here to purchase all of them from the Fed as soon as possible.
Yes, I did as instructed.
Then why did you have to do that?
It was for our best interest. The Caribbean Watch, our Municipal Council of Criminal Enterprise, the Sentinel, Municipal Leadership Naked, the Inside, Trotin Marcus Municipality Exposed, Spotlight, Marcus Municipal Leaders Face Imprisonment. As you can see, the stories under these headlines are extremely damaging. These are the kinds of headlines we have been getting in our newspapers for the last 1 month. That is why I called you here, because your departments are the most affected.
Are such headlines unusual? I think these are the most problems that leaders must face with the media from time to time. What we need to do is to give those reporters and editors more boxes of chocolate.
I think I also threaten some of them.
The problem is not the mainstream media. The problem is the Samaritan. The Samaritan is the source of all this information we've been getting in our newspapers for the last 1 month.
The Samaritan?
Oh yes, I remember there's a Samaritan in town.
And who exactly is that?
It is an app developed by 2 students at Sagrada Secondary School. Last year during the closing ceremony, I was invited to the school to officially launch it in our municipality and present the award to the 2 students who had created it. But I declined to do that when I learned out that this thing will turn out to be a problem to us. And it turns out that I was right.
Innovation? What kind of innovation?
I must confess these internet things are a little bit out of my depth. I think Harvester here can explain.
Application on which people are posting and sharing any information in the context of municipal affairs. The information is being shared in form of text, file, picture, and video. The aim of the app is to promote public good by exposing corruption and agitating the prosecution of the culture. The Spotlight a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. The app is the source of all this revelation we've been finding in our newspapers.
I have also heard about it. I think we just need to have a conversation with those regularly posting the information on the app. Listen. What you need to do is to obtain some cash, identify those regularly posting the information on the app, and then pay them to stop. That is all.
No, that may not be possible. The last time I checked, the app had almost 500,000 downloads and it was still counting. That means almost 500,000 people are using this app, and you cannot negotiate with such a huge number of people.
Your worship, do you really think there is a cause of alarm or the media is just think it's normal.
There is possible alarm. Why? Because the information appears to be meticulously researched and the assault of media carefully choreographed.
Oh, just how serious are the allegations being made?
The net of companies that fill out huge sum of money without rendering any services in a municipal council. The details of companies involved have now been unearthed. They were first devised on that evil thing before finding their ways to the newspapers. And the culprits are, forgive me for saying this, have been disclosed as you and you.
That cannot be possible. Nobody can write that kind of information about me in this world.
Copies of indisputable documentary evidence were posted all over. They were also circulated in all our social media platforms.
Those are fake documents. They are first falsehoods. And I can assure you this, that those behind the allegations now have their appointment with fate, certainly.
Supply of... I am beginning to think this is serious. Could we end up in Barnett Express prison?
That is just one of the allegations. But there are many, many more of them, including drug trafficking, grabbing of public land, use of inflation, use of proxies to secure municipal tenders. The information is being detailed on the people and the companies involved.
There's also a lot of personal information on that evil thing too, including the lifestyles of municipal leaders, where they live, the houses they live in, vehicles they drive, when and how they acquire this possession. There's also a lot of personal information I don't want to mention here. There was also a lot of talking yesterday with everyone wondering when we got up the money to put up Madingo Gold Club.
The Madingo Gold Club? But I've only been thinking about my private affairs. I don't get information that is mine.
I must also remind you that there is nothing on earth you can do without anyone knowing about it. And those we regard as our friends are sometimes wolves in sheep's clothing. They may know a lot of information about us, which could be quite damaging.
That is our greatest nightmare.
What worries me most is the formation of an amorphous virtual group, comprises mostly of lawyers, calling itself the Samaritan. I hear they are calling upon people to volunteer as witnesses to help in prosecution of corrupted leaders, abuse of the municipal offices. I hear they are also planning to petition the local government, the prime ministers, the chief justice to take action. Gentlemen, the situation is not pretty at all.
Oh, Justice Jaden, can such online allegation form a strong basis for a prosecution and conviction?
Yes, they can, provided there are valid documents supporting such allegations.
I don't think we have any other option other than ban this thing in the entire municipality. The municipal council must pass a bylaw that will effect urgently. I will enforce it immediately.
But gentlemen, we have to be strategic. On what basis do you ban it? And how do you police the use of mobile phones to ensure the ban is effective?
We can think creatively about it. For example, we can cite that the municipal authorities are concerned that suspect apps, spy apps to be specific, are finding their ways into the municipality. We can also cite cyberbullying and sharing of pornographic contents in schools.
I like that idea. I suggest we issue out a circular that no app will be used in Maracas municipality until it is authorized by the Prime Minister or the municipal council leaders. Find some justification for it and formal language to indicate the concern of municipal council and the proliferation of suspect innovation, right?
Yes, sir. I don't see how that will help. Most likely the ban will only fuel more interest on the app.
So we have to do it. Information is power. We have to do it. My friend also mentioned the idea of getting computer experts to mess up with this thing.
Hacking, do you mean?
Exactly. Just write a letter to the officers in charge of information communication technology, instruct him to put up a team to come together and mess up with that.
But how do you
find an appropriate way of putting it?
You can claim, for example, that some seemingly good apps are actually clever innovation to spy on our confidential documents, such as bank account details. The officials can do it under the guise of ascertaining whether the app has got spyware.
No, I fear that will still be criminal, especially in the absence of a legal framework supporting such.
Then we rely on you should the matters escalate to court.
But you see, gentlemen, as I've said, we have to be strategic. No court on earth will support the malicious destruction of private property.
But we are in this together, Justice Jaden. I mean, you can always figure out a way, and there
the appropriate language for defending such cause of action. What do you mean we are in this together? In supplying air to the municipal council?
But your Lord, we all have some skeletons in our closets. We must work together, I mean here and there.
Or do you want to mean that you have no skeletons at all?
Gentlemen, the issue here is not whether you have skeletons or not. And as you can clearly see, I am not a reptile. You see, what matters most often in life is not what you do, but how you do it. You can still fly into forbidden territory and get away with it, provided you do it below the radar.
What's that supposed to mean?
I went to school.
But you're also part of the target, right?
I do not wish to be part of these criminal proposals you have here. I will pronounce myself on this matter if I am directly confronted or when cases are brought before me in a court of law. You cannot have careless and reckless skeletons all over the place and expect my help to clean them up.
All in danger of prosecution, we have to do something urgent.
How about persuading the young girl and boy to drop the matter?
That is not a viable strategy. We can't deal with thieves unless you mean dealing with those assisting them. I'm talking about the epic innovation teacher.
And how about talking to the school principal herself?
We should not appear to be meddling in school affairs. We are in a better position of dealing with the teacher concerned. I mean, you understand that teacher has a very strong personality. She's very protective to her staff.
I have another idea.
What is it?
Where is the information stored? I mean the information shared in the Samaritan.
Sister, you seem to understand these things.
The information is in what are called servers. They are available data.
That is my point. We need to get information out there. And by the way, where is the internet and how do you get in there?
That line of thinking cannot help us.
Money? Money? And more money!
You mean we give money to the two students of the
No,
teacher?
I mean mobilize enough money to fight off the cases that might be brought against us.
That is a good idea, but you see, I have loans on the project. I don't think I can raise more money.
Yes, I do. I've just completed the Madingo Box Club. I'm as broke as a judgment.
I cannot raise a meaningful amount either. Now, if that is the case, why can't we find a way of averting the court cases to come up in the first place?
How do we do that?
Restitution. What is that? It's an idea that struck me when I was having a walk along the beach yesterday. We can have a reconciliation and truth exercise.
How will that work?
We shall call upon a grace period in which everyone in the municipality shall come clean, confess their mistakes, forgive one another, give back whatever they have acquired irregularly, and then open up a new chapter of honest in the conduct of our municipality.
Hey, but that has never happened anywhere in this one.
No. It will be our local initiative, you know. The truth can set us free.
What? Is it restitution or admission of guilt? How can I incriminate myself? And what if we are accused of other crimes other than acquiring wealth irregularly?
I doubt whether restitution is actually a good idea.
That takes us back to the idea of raising money. We must procure loan or even sell our properties.
Now, since we all have no money, why don't we try getting the money from the municipal fund?
Municipal fund? How?
You see, we just need to do some reallocation in line items.
I agree. We must set aside money to take care of the investigators, the lawyers, the prosecutors and judges if things go wrong.
You see, the waste disposal system in our town is in a terrible state. As we speak, the drainages are broken and there's garbage all over. We can justify the reallocation of budget as the need to address these issues. But in real sense, we are going to use some of that money to fight off the cases that are without a doubt coming our way.
What?
Yes, we will be better armed to deal with the troubles ourselves.
That will only get us deeper into more trouble.
But we will have the money, don't you understand?
Oh, for my dear. What you're suggesting is illegal. The law is very clear that a municipal council is not supposed to spend any money at any financial year except it is contained and approved by the act of the parliament.
And what do you mean, Mayor Mosi? You would rather we are prosecuted and imprisoned?
In that case, let us do a supplementary estimate. That is allowed under the law.
No. As no allocation of funds.
But we will have the money, don't you understand?
Look here, my two good friends. You have in the past forced my hands into misallocation of funds by making unnecessary demands.
Oh, which demands?
You cannot now deny the fact that you forced my hands to pass the budget allocation together with your
Don't start pontificating. You also know how much you have stolen. How will you explain everything that was stolen under your words? You will never get away with it. So think, be wise. Let us do a supplementary estimate.
I know you very well. I know the things you did. And if you're not careful, I will have you arrested and prosecuted.
Go ahead! Go ahead and have me arrested and prosecuted. But you either approve a supplementary estimate or you hold your office.
Yes, Mayor Mosi. We help to get elected and we can actually get rid of it.
Stop it!
Gentlemen, we need to find some common ground. We must also find money to protect ourselves. We need not to make matters worse than they already are.
You senseless thieves. Fools. You were elected just the other day as poor, invested hoodlums. Now you are living like kings in mansions, gardens, villas, driving state-of-art vehicles. How can you just get away? How can you justify your financial status? Or do you think you will just get away?
We will see.
Without
We will see. We will see if we will be able to get away with it. But we either approve a supplementary estimate or we have them out of office.
Yes, Mayor Mosi. And we actively take charge for the roads in the municipality. There is no way, and I repeat, no way, that you can deliver us to prison.
Do anything foolish, and you will know who I am. His worship, Mayor Mosi, or
We will see.
The Samaritan crisis has suborned us into a huge nightmare since we had our last meeting a week ago. I called you here as my dependable ally so that we can discuss the way moving forward.
Before we can get any further, Your Worship,
Yes.
I would like to bring to your attention the very likelihood of my untimely death. Very, very soon.
What did you just say?
You know, yesterday I logged into the app. I found out that I've been accused of several cases of corruption, violation of human rights, drug peddling, and even extortion, and it's giving me this. And you know very well, my blood sugar isn't good. Very soon I suspect I'll be drifted in a corpse.
Did you say sugar? That is a bit dangerous. But now you need to eat more salt every now and then. But don't worry, you are not alone. I also temporarily lost my consciousness when I learned out that my deputy Simon and his friends are busy mobilizing a vote of no confidence in me. I'm afraid these people will send me to Barnett Express prison. I now say Barnett Express prison each time I close my eyes. It is such a dark place in there. I can smell the revolting state of the cells though I've never been there.
Oh, that could be an ill omen.
It's so strong and I've been unable to eat since yesterday, gentlemen.
Oh, then you need to stew something with a very strange taste and pungent smell.
Yes.
Something completely neutral, like ordinary grass.
But don't worry, I'm not afraid. As I always say, it is the nature of war. Now, let us go down to serious business, gentlemen.
This accusation was the letter that I did banning the use of the app. And I instructed the ICT officers to go and take steps against the suspect innovation.
Don't worry. I have also been accused of several crimes,
Yes.
particularly what they are calling the municipal capture. What exactly
It is the
that?
worst form of corruption and abuse of office.
And do they have any evidence for that?
Yes, I see a white purported documentary evidence posted everywhere.
The porcupine.
The porcupine.
When that beaten porcupine. I mean, my opposition leader, Chief Pastel, he has been the main actor behind this thing. My media people confirmed this to me last night. The day we left Sagrada Secondary School last year, this porcupine went straight to the bank, went to some of the money, paid it to some of the journalists who sat down for days to end, looking for damaging information about us, uploading it on the Samaritan. He has assembled serious arsenal against us to last for the next 2 months. But those now clear that the Samaritan thing is a weapon intended to destroy me. And this with a beaten porcupine can do anything to acquire power, even selling the life of his own mother.
But he is doing a horrible job on us, members. For example, today's stories are particularly damaging. I instructed them to go and purchase all the newspapers last week using public funds, following your instructions.
The Sentinel's story. Marcus Municipal Council narrated the civil war. And part of the story, this is interesting, it claims that you may most you wrestle with Sima in a vicious duel in which you lost a tooth during a dating and then
And did you also read the Caribbean one?
No, not yet.
The paper claims that your house and the hotel adjoining it are built on Marcus University land. And there are some lobby groups that they are going to go to have it restored to the university.
That is a very unfortunate job. Please let us not get there.
Oh, I also saw some land, the Marcus University land, long time before the Samaritan thing came to town. But of course, I was not sure of it.
I think you need to go to check because what you have is a fake title deed.
You think I'm getting a little bit out of hearing you. What do you mean by the university land? And where was the university all these years? How? When? Where? How? Do you know that I'm going to retire in a few months' time? And you know that's the only investment that I have in my life.
The sad thing is that the paper claims that you are a member of Ghetto Boys, a shadowing gang that floats everyone in the municipality. The paper also claims that your hotel is built with money that your officers collect from motorists. And they have already given it a name. They are calling it Motorist Highway Hotel. The paper also claims that you have taken the municipal balls to your own outfit for collecting bribes.
Over. It is time to take action. You cannot make me a vagabond and a bomb on me. Oh, no.
Hey,
Hey.
Where are you going? Where are you going? They can have the university and we get an alternative land.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, and who sold you that land?
That dinosaur and that.
Forget about that old man. That is how he has earned his livelihood all this time, by ruining his life with countless people through his greed.
But what about the university land?
Leave that to me. Now, let us go straight to the business at hand of dealing with this unfolding crisis. First of all, I want you to mobilize your staff members to prepare for a comprehensive press statement to be issued tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
These statements will encounter all the allegations leveled against us on the social media. And also, I need to have a press conference sometime tomorrow. Get someone to give me some talking notes. And remember to add some point on what do you call them? The cyberbullying, exactly. Add that one there too. Also, add something on spy software to justify the instructions we give out to our ICT officers. We should also ever deny refusing to give the present to the 2 students at Sagrada Secondary School
Yes, sir.
Indicate that we are finalizing arrangement to mainstream the use of the app in our municipality to enhance accountability and transparency.
Yes, sir.
Prepare for a comprehensive statement daily. We must show that our municipal council is running more. We must also hide the message that the allegation made about the Samaritan and everything in our newspapers. Those are lies manufactured by political opportunists and election losers. But those are just small housekeeping things we need to discuss. I think the most urgent problem for now is how to deal with the vote of no confidence in me. I hear that the municipal leaders are ready to pass this issue to be debated tomorrow. The vote of no confidence will never see the light of the day, not even over my dead body.
And to be on top of things, I suggest you find some reason for arrest.
I don't think that is best strategy for now. Let us scheme carefully.
What about stopping them from a court?
No. I find our courts undependable. They follow money more often than they follow justice. Did you see the way Justice Ian Tatum spoke the other day? I think I'm better off mobilizing my political base to reflect the vote of no confidence in me.
On the floor of the council chamber, will that be running a significant risk? You see, the ward representative, the other men, they are exposed in the Samaritan, and they are all at risk of facing prosecution. You think on them dying, and his allies will win them out.
That's why I suggest the best strategy is to put them behind us, particularly on that. We must die in police custody.
Yes.
No. I suggest we deploy that as our last weapon. But again, I think I understand. You guys make the mistakes. How about mobilizing the Red Eagle of young supporters to make the municipal headquarters no go zone for them?
Excellent idea.
We must ensure that nothing deliberate on the vote of no confidence in me should never see the face of the earth anywhere in this world.
And also organize some ghetto boys that allow police to support your youth network.
Precisely, yes.
Yes.
We must make it a neat exercise.
Yes.
They must know who I am.
Yeah.
They must know that I live thunder and smoke in my way. Then I will send the black man to you.
Who is that, sir?
He's the leader of the Red Eagle Network of young supporters. He's the coordinator of my political networks. Give him enough money to buy polythene papers, sand, mattress, all this to be banned at the town center, okay? Give him enough money to fund for the transport and for the welfare of our Maracas Municipal Council.
And also buy them some white ribbons. They should all wear them so that my name will be able to recognize them.
And remember to get your undercover police to shoot him up and down everywhere.
Consider that done.
Yes. Consider that done. Now, I think those are two problems solved. Your hotel and the vote of no confidence in me. How about the Samaritan?
I like the idea of going to the teachers and another secondary school.
Yes, it will be good if we understand and secure understanding that she will filter or edit some of the information coming out about us.
I will talk to her first thing tomorrow and let you know.
Okay, sir.
Your worship, I think I will visit her myself. If she doesn't, I have ways of making people change their allegiance.
No. I don't think it is right for you to go there. Your approach to problems reminds me of what they call the law of instruments.
So what is it about?
That if all you have is a hammer, then you tend to think of all problems as nails.
You know, your worship, in times such as this, every instrument must be put into good use. In fact, I've been thinking of accusing her with some crime. For example, let us say stealing of school furniture, for example, a computer or even a generator. In fact, I will send someone to stick the generator tonight, and then pin it on her, and then ask Justice and Judge to vote her in.
That is a good idea, but certainly the judge will not oblige.
I think I will talk to the judge if he can compete from there and esteem. And by doing that, we'll have killed two birds with one stone. We will have aborted the vote of no confidence meeting. Then second, we'll have responded to to the people's demand for imprisonment of corrupted leaders and the abuse of the municipal office. I will talk to her and let you know.
I think that will be an urgent priority.
Then we must talk to our media people to look for all the damaging information about him and upload it in social media.
Yes, I think we should also give Pasteur a dose of his own medicine. We should find some damaging information about him. Yes.
And we must also find some information on Justice and Judge, and then have it uploaded against that again.
Yes.
Gentlemen, why can't you begin by implementing these few things before we get to the point? Now, this is what we are going to do. We must make sure we abort the vote of no confidence meeting.
Yes.
We must get an alternative plan
Yes.
for the Marrakesh University. Okay?
Yes.
And we must also bring the judge and the teacher online.
Yes.
We must be on top of the situation. We must put our best foot forward. Remember, I am only but protecting the public interest.
May we come in distress? We are worried in distress. Over you.
The mayor gave an ultimatum during the last year's closing day ceremony. We are afraid the up by planning to travel.
Don't worry, my good boy. Everything will be fine. Have a seat. Please have a seat.
The lunch has not taken place. We smell trouble distress.
Yes, it is true that the municipal leaders are not happy with the Samaritan and put it off.
Why?
You are young and you may not understand these things.
But why would the leaders reject what is good for the people?
You see, I like the idea of the Samaritan. Do you remember what happened in the parliament?
Yes, mistress.
The robbers attack a Jewish man. They beat him up and left him at the roadside, injured.
And then what happened, Montano?
And then a priest passed by, and even though he was a religious man working in our maker's house, he just ignored the man and went on his way.
And then
came a leper. He was a religious man because he used to work as assistant to the priest. He did not help the man.
And then what happened?
And then came a Samaritan. Though holding a different view on religion, and despite the hostility between the Jewish and the Samaritans, he saw the injured man, had compassion on him, dressed his wounds, and then took him to a safe place.
You inspired me by naming your app the Samaritan. It made me realize that the people of our municipality are alike the Jewish man in many ways. It is up to us, all of us, without any claim to public office, to be a good Samaritan. And you know what?
Tell us, mistress.
The Samaritan is an excellent platform for all of us to take care of each other. Because if we only care about ourselves, who will take care of the well-being of our municipality?
But now the house can't help. They won't allow it.
Don't worry, Peter, because sometimes it is good to speak out. And I can promise you that the Samaritan will change the course of history in our municipality.
But it will not be good for you, mistress. We all had the mayor speak, and it was evident that he meant his every single word.
Whatever they may decide to do to me doesn't matter, but sometimes you have to stand up for what you believe in.
The Samaritan has grown so big. He TVs, radios, and newspapers in such a way that it is no longer safe for us. Could they transfer you from the school? Would like to go with you, mistress.
We must always try to improve our own individual lives, not chicken out at every obstacle and threat to our lives. You are young, but what you have done is provide people with a platform to expose these corrupt leaders' ways and make a better future for all of us. Because we all know the salaries you pay them, right? And we know it is not enough for them to drive the big cars that they do, or live in the big houses that they live in, or even flaunt the lavish lifestyles that they do. So, where do they get the money? Huh?
So, what do we do, mistress?
Stand firm with the app and demand for things to be done right. This app will help us, and it must not be stopped. You two are very, very promising students. Please make sure that you work hard and everything will be okay. Never be discouraged or afraid. Are we to get up to that point?
Yes, mistress.
The principal is requesting to meet me in the boardroom, so we shall resume this conversation later.
Okay, mistress.
Can I offer you coffee or tea?
I will not have anything, thank you.
Thank you. My apologies if I have interfered with your timetable, but Mayor Mosi would like to have a word with you. He's on his way coming.
What about?
I believe it is directive concerning that we should find a way of stopping the national launch of the Samaritan.
But didn't you send him communication from the minister of the country?
I did. Maybe he did not see it. There are percent shockwaves across the municipality. Many people and the leaders are in terrible panic. I am beginning to feel that you need to think long and hard about this, because it's dangerous.
Madam, it will be over soon. Once the president launches the app, then it will be out of our hands.
I am not completely sure about that. Many people and the leaders are in terrible panic. They think that you are the only person who is able to take them out of the predicament they now find themselves in.
Well, it is natural for them to think so. Many people do. And this is because I am not only in charge of the innovation, but a mentor as well.
Nothing beyond that.
Nothing.
Listen to me, Nicole. You are one of my best members of staff. And it will be very unfortunate if you lied to me. I am an old lady. Old enough to be your mother and perceptive enough to know the kinds of missions you have.
Well, I did mean once the idea of the two. As their mentor, I should also provide direction as regards the intellectual property. But then again, isn't that my role as a mentor and a teacher?
Listen to me, Nicole. You have known me long enough to know that I take my work seriously. I am single-mindedly focused to ensure that every student entrusted to us gets quality education. And I will not allow you or any member of staff deviate from this course.
I can assure you that I have no intentions of deviating from my professional obligation.
Everything done in this school is to ensure every student entrusted to us becomes a responsible and productive citizen. Therefore, I will not allow you or any member of staff or even myself deviate from this course. Whatever you're doing is good. But if it derails us from the greater mission of the school, then it must be stopped. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but would you rather we abandon such an...
Now there comes the mayor. Now listen. I have to draw the line between politics and school. Therefore, I will not take part in any discussion. The bottom line is that the school has nothing to do with the Samaritan app. Is that clear? Am I clear?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes, madam.
Did you do what I told you to do the last time we were together?
Yes, I did.
But I hear that the national lounge is still on.
Well, I did write a letter to the ministry detailing your concerns and I wrote a letter to the principal.
Detailing my concern, but you never brought that to my attention.
I did. I brought a letter to your office about a month ago.
My e-trailer is full of letters. Maybe it is in there. So what does the letter say?
The school has no more role to play in regards to the Samaritan app. Therefore, any issue will be directly confronted by the Minister of Education. Additionally, a joint team of education official ministers and the President's representative will now take over in preparation of the national launch.
That was a great maneuver from your side, right?
Thank you. Now, in right to know that the school has nothing to do with the Samaritan app. It's my belief that your talk with Chanicol is a private affair and that it has nothing to do with the school. If you have to excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interfere with your work of running the school, Madam Principal. Madam Nicole, apologies if I have appeared to be hard on you. But you see, my major worry is that only a malicious person like my opposition leader, Honorable Bastel, will end up posting false information about me on that.
Your Worship, you don't need to worry about that because if anyone tries to defame you, then you can present them in a court of law.
But most of these calls are anonymous, so how can I take a legal action against an anonymous person?
The app is configured in such a way that the person posting is kept anonymous to the public, but not to the administrator who can provide such identity.
But you see, Nicole, I'm here. Of course, I've made many mistakes, but I'm here to own up my mistake and to seek for you understand.
Understanding and help from me.
Yes, God. What I mean is, please find a way of eliminating all this negative information about me. I'm very vulnerable to falsehood as a leader.
But your worship, the National Information and Communications Technology Corporation has already taken over the app and is already in talks with some venture capitalists about commercializing the app.
Because my understanding is that you are the mentor of these two kids, and therefore it is within your powers to find a way to stop them from doing this to us.
But how can I do that, your worship? I am not the administrator of the app.
How about looking at it in this way?
Okay,
And you see, we all need money. Those young kids need money. You two can work on this cash. Just put your price however huge it is.
Your worship, I am very disappointed with the man with whom we have entrusted the affairs of our municipality, including fighting corruption, is offering me a bribe. I have never and will never be part of such schemes. Do you want me to post this on the Samaritan because I will?
No, I didn't mean it that way. What I mean is that why look for venture capitalists elsewhere? I mean, why can't you commercialize this app? You are here as the mentor. I am here as the investor. I can inject in some necessary capitals and you can bring in the technical expertise.
I have no proprietary claim that will entitle me to make decisions on the app. It is the property of the two students.
Because you need to look this man in some depth. Then you will see that I'm being accused of other people's mistakes, Nico. And that is not fair. That is unfair, Nico.
Your worship, I have been reading posts on the Samaritan, and they are about public leaders, officials, and even private individuals. You have not been singled out in any way.
Far from the truth. Everywhere in the Samaritan, I'm being accused of inflating high-cost projects, presiding over solid work.
Maybe it is because you are the overall leader.
Yes, it is easy to say so because I'm the overall custodian of good work in a municipality. But take any project, such as the construction and maintenance of our secondary roads in a municipality. Are there any roads ever constructed? I will tell you what happens, Nicole. A few kilometer roads are dug up the level. The contractor comes and pours black oil on these roads and claims them to be tarmacked. Today, our secondary roads look like part of abandoned battlefields where bombs were detonated in them. Even tractors can get stuck in them. Yet, the municipal council pays for top dollars for these roads. Am I responsible for that? Because doesn't it bother you that people overwhelmingly voted for this kind of people into the municipal chamber, knowing enough they have not accomplished anything in life other than swallow their own life?
Oh, did they know?
They all know. They did. And there's hardly anyone who has not come in this town. You will get him living on the post at the back of our town, gazing empty at vacant spaces like an evil spirit, waiting for fake title deeds to be printed. Nicole, this man prints 10 title deeds for the same plot, then sells the same plot to 10 different people. Yet people overwhelmingly voted for this kind of a person into the municipal chamber. I mean, why do people revise such mediocrity and evil and then dance and whine when it hurts them? Nicole, and when you look at him closely, you will see that he resembles a sloth. Have you ever seen a sloth? That God-forsaken creature that gives you nausea the moment you look at it. That is exactly him. Stony, overweighted, over nothing useless.
Oh, he must be a disgrace.
They all are, Nicole. Take the so-called Venerable Ted the King. I prefer calling him the Bat. He's our secretary in the Department of Health and Environment. Recently, he ate a whole hospital.
Ate a whole hospital?
Exactly. The municipal council invited bids for the construction of a health center. As a line secretary, he ensured that only his companies and those related to his friends win the tale of construction. They went ahead, he conspired together with them and ate the whole money that was budgeted for the construction of these health centers.
But it is popularly held that if you're very close.
I wish you could listen first, Nicole. Now, the bad, as I told you, I prefer calling him, is a scandal. the worst kind of them all in our municipality. He was once a DJ who spent the better part of his life in DJ nightclub, carrying small pictures like a slime he is. He's also a type of those evil men who like to operate in darkness. He has been one of them for a very long time. And that is why I call him the bat, the sinister creature that is blind, cannot see, and sleeps upside down. The man is undoubtedly under the act. Yes, and as a DJ, he was also responsible for noise pollution in this municipality, which will never cease from complaining. The man has earned his livelihood by vibrating other people's music and making noise for everybody. Do you want to know what happened after vibrating other people's music and being a pub? People overwhelmingly voted for him. The youth and all of them were excited of his evil hairstyle, the ripped jeans he wears, the necklaces, bangles, and satanic adornments he wears. Because those were sufficient qualifications to bring the man into the municipal chamber. And as you know, the man is illiterate. Yes, he might have quit schooling after kindergarten. And the man makes no sense that the municipal chamber, the man stinks. He makes the whole chamber smell like a dingy nightclub. I think the man slept in a dam of illicit liquor. No wonder he looks sick. I hope he dies soon. I will get giving him campaign money.
No, your worship. You cannot fish them to another person. But why can't you just call them to order and rebuke them for wrong?
Me?
Yes.
Talk to these people. I cannot talk to them. I cannot even touch it, even in a 10-foot pole. Other pitiful human beings more. He's the man behind all the protracted delays in the issues of building approval in our municipality. He's a self-seeking secretary in our Department of Planning and Building. I mean, you can never get a building approval unless you partner with the board. I started to think what will happen to the inspectorate unit under him is rotten. You can build anything, anywhere you want, as long as you partner. I started to think, where will people living in such building go in case a strong argument strikes?
But, your worship, why can't you just have these people prosecuted? Because we all know that we are in the most sensitively active area in the Caribbean, and we're sitting on a time bomb.
How dare you mention his name here? Don't you know how dangerous he is? Huh? Haven't you heard his name being mentioned in connection with mysterious disappearance of people in this town? The man is the leader of the Black Swan Gang. The Black Swan Gang is responsible for all the shooting and violence you've been reading in the newspapers for the last 1 month. Again, the man deals with the drugs. He's the one behind all the narcotic trafficking in a municipal council. He has ruined the life of many people. In fact, Nicole, if you know of a child who has dropped out of school because of drugs, who has become a garbage because of drugs, who roams aimlessly in the street because of drugs, who have lost their minds because of drugs, it is the work of sin. And you know what happened after that? People overwhelmingly voted for him. He must have given out a lot of drug money. Yes, and as you know, the man intimidated people with this law deeply. But in truth, the man has never studied law. He does not know a single word about it. People do make mistakes. I may have made a mistake before, but some of these mistakes are just natural and excusable. Take me for example. People get a loaf of bread through me, so I am part of the people. So I can take a slice or two, or in fact 3, and give the rest to the people. But what happens to the other criminals? They eat the whole bread together with the wrapping. They can even eat the vendor. My wife does not do business in the municipal council. Yes, she's a pastor. My children are all abroad. What happened to the family of Ramdai? They have occupied all the projects under his department. His cousins, outlaws, son-in-laws, daughters-in-laws. Or you might think the department under Ramdai is his official residence. And Justice Ian Jaden, who can bring him on time, considering his wife ran away. But he has countless mistresses and relatives doing business in the municipal council. This man hawks justice like cabbages in town. I'm sure you have seen him, smartly dressed, wearing a solemn look, looking just. But I'm telling you, Nicole, that is just the exterior part of him we see. Just like we see flowers on the surface of a fresh grave. They dig deeper and you will see. You will see the true kind of justice Ian Jaden. But that is how most of them are in their profession. Just ornaments of the grave. No wonder Son of Man casted them.
Oh my good Lord.
And now Simon, yes, his family does not do business in the municipal council. But it's because they are all on drugs. His firstborn has taken permanent residence at the rehabilitation center. The other one is inaugurated permanently at the casino. The wife is a garbage and a perpetual drug. And himself, he deals with those evil things, you know, about hiding himself in his dark shades, pulling up his goatee, threatening everything, including his own shadow. This man can really drive the devil out of hell.
And your worship, don't you think that posting this on the Samaritan will shift some of the blame from yourself?
It is easy to say so, but of course with some reasons. There are very good people around here. Yes, exactly. There are very good people around here. But the problem is the people.
And which people?
People that voted for this kind of leaders in the municipal council. If the Samaritan really wants to solve problems, then it should focus on them.
But it does focus on the people.
Then why are they whining the court? If you elect a whole monkey to be a librarian, then why should you start complaining when the monkey starts holding around when you want to read inside it?
Your worship, I don't think that the people are whining as you put it. They just want justice.
So how are you going to help me survive the monster from the Samaritan?
It is clear that the members of the municipal council are present.
They have failed me big time.
So don't you think that the Samaritan is a good platform for you to expose these corrupt leaders' ways? And just...
What did you just say? Huh? What did you just say? Are you playing politics?
I do not play
Are
politics.
you playing politics?
I do not play
And are you by any chance being used to destroy my political career?
No, I do not.
Huh?
I do not play politics.
It is now clear to me that you've been playing politics all away. Huh? It is now clear the people creating this mess in our society is the teaching profession.
The teaching profession?
Exactly,
How?
because you cannot teach the right thing. It is now clear people creating this mess in the society have all gone through the teaching society. They have all gone through the teacher's hands.
Your worship, here at Samaritan Secondary School, we create learners to have integrity, transparency.
Because how can you tell these children that in future police officers will be replaced by a software, or was it an intelligent robot? Is that teaching virtue? What attitude do you want these children to have towards the police officers in future?
We seek to develop creative and virtuous thinkers.
I now understand why you insist on innovation that cannot help us solve problems. Then you want us to believe those two kids are capable of coming up with something like the Samaritan.
Yes, they were introduced to coding.
Nicole, those are cock and bull stories. Now listen to me. I'm giving you instructions. As Mayor Mosi or Atunya, the smoke that dance, to go and eliminate all the negative information casting the negativity of me in that app. There is my card. My number is there. Call me and let me know you've started casting out all the negative information about me and the entire municipal council on that thing called the Samaritan. Failure to that, you will know who I am. It's worship Mayor Mosi or Atunya, the smoke that dance, and I strike harder than thunder.
It is now very clear that we will not allow a meeting between us to discuss those things.
It is certainly was. The hooligans were very brutal, but I drew out my gun and refused to move and let one of them touch me.
One of them aimed a rock at my head. I never thought anybody could handle such a huge stone. It flew past my head like a rocket-propelled grenade.
I was actually surprised you could learn as you did.
Yes.
At your age, you whispered me like an express train. I never thought you would have before.
I doubt they were just hooligans.
smoke. Sadly, we never anticipated this. I think the mayor is actually a good organizer.
You see, it's called Mosio Atunya, meaning the smoke that thunders. He is a master schemer and a go-getter.
Anyway, it is very clear that we are at war here. But we will not be cowed. We must carry out our plans the last meeting. I remember we had asked you to talk to the aldermen and the members of the chamber.
Yes, you did, and as you know, our political landscape comprises of councillors and aldermen of mixed ethnicity, as well as those of Afro and Indo-Descent.
Yes, it does, and so?
I was on phone almost all night, and very little support was forthcoming. I assumed wrongly that we could whip up racial and class prejudice to get many of them to support us. How mistaken I was. After talking to them, I realized that our chamber members are of different categories, and we must keep in mind even as we seek to woo them to support our cause.
Categories like which one?
The first is the indecisive type.
Oh, well, like who?
There are quite a number. Honorable Pereira, Mr. Kia, they call him is the best example. This man has never seen a fence on which he can't sit, and he can hardly commit to any side. We chatted at length and he kept on talking in circles, citing proverbs and idioms here and there.
You see, I wonder why they call him Mr. King. He has difficulties on deciding on which door to open or if at all to open the door.
So what did he say when you talked to him?
He said, what will be because something certainly will be.
Is that the proverb?
I have since been wondering whether it is. But he also said you don't cross the bridge until you get to it.
Now, which bridges?
I am not sure which bridge he meant. But I guess he must have been talking about the cases in case we are sued.
You talked of different categories. What were some of the other categories you might ask?
The other category comprises of the majority. I will best describe them as the headless type.
Headless?
Exactly. They have their brains on right when they don't use them.
Oh, no.
You mean they are like headless chicken?
Yes, they are headless chicken. They follow the lead of the ethnic group who thinks for them. And they wait for that leader to make the decision for them in all matters, including the decision to go to pee. Most members of the People's Party of Honorable Basdeo belong here, and so are people of Moses Liberal Party.
Well, I thank God I don't belong to any of these ethnic groups.
Then there is the entrepreneurial type.
Who are these?
These are the political entrepreneurs, very keen on making money. They vote with their stomach. So to speak, that means they will vote the side that gives them more money.
Are you saying that they demanded for money to support the no-confidence motion?
Yes, that was my understanding. I indicated funds will be available, and they promised to deal as soon as money changes hands.
That is sad indeed.
Then finally, there is the independent-minded category. This is the type that listens to and serves the people.
I get you. Then, Honorable Cruel, Mr. Developer, is the best example for this.
Here is highly disciplined man. In fact, he was previously a head teacher. Some people say that he uses the same discipline he used in school to run his work.
So, what did you say when you talked to him?
Here is terminally ill. We need not to worry about him. Some people say that he ate and he rejected me.
Yes, so I never got to talk to him. I really hope he gets well, Julie, kindly so.
His political star has been rising steadily. With people thinking that maybe he's the best person to replace me and Moscow. Perhaps the man gave him insecticide or even blood pressure. That man gave him anything.
You see, I expect the so-called Mr. Thornton here, he is also in that group of independent-minded group. Some people say that he has very many ideas that do not to tie up at some point.
I got much the same impression when I talked to him. He spoke so many wise things and these strange things on phone.
For example,
When he heard that you were against Amos, he gave a long snort of derisive laughter.
devil take the show. That man has never liked me at all.
I sensed as
How
much.
did you sense that?
Well, we argued who has better leadership qualities between Honorable Ramdai and Amos.
And what was his choice?
He said, there is always a winner even in a beauty contest of monkeys.
His real name is Mr. Brian Hyde, and he always spoke of being a mulatto by noble blood. So, what was the governor of the
The situation is not very good. It was very difficult to guess how the vote will go.
So, what do we do?
The only way forward for us is to enlist the support of the opposition chief, Honorable Basdeo. Besides, with us, councillors and aldermen allied to him will follow suit. And with him in the back, we only need to persuade or buy a few more individuals to meet the 2,000 to remove Amos from office.
Anyway, you indicated that you were in love with the Honorable Basdeo.
another man to vote for you as mayor.
Yes,
That wants to become the mayor, immediately appoint him as the deputy
Hey,
mayor.
come on, guys. That's a breakthrough. Let us go to the bar for a beer to celebrate. I have a terrible hangover that I need to cure. I need a call to carry you to. So get going.
Honorable Mayor, we've been waiting for you. In fact, I've already briefed them on what we talked about. The only thing remaining here is to discuss on what ground to do the vote of no confidence.
I think that doesn't matter at this stage. Really? Of course, what we need to do at this point is to elect mayor from the people. You see, these people have sympathy for him, we lost and see. So let them against me.
I think that makes good sense.
And how do you propose to do this?
Well, get the approved speaker and most articulate to recite the people.
What issues do we address for us to present the people?
The need for equitable development in Marcus municipality.
Just the development issue will help incite or excite the people. You need to excite the people, what you need to incite them. Tell them things that will make them annoy or issues that will make them afraid. Obediently, quickly, party so that these people can survive.
How do we do that?
Simple. Well, that's the reason you want to give out because we are mostly at the Yamato, the man located from municipality. In the development of the ward occupied by most ethnic groups.
Idiot! Where look like a development to you? Have you forgotten that I should be out?
Okay, I will do the recording, sir. Yes. So, what do I like?
All municipal funds are being committed to the development of the ward occupied by most ethnic groups.
But that's not true.
Of course, I'm getting your money now. That's the government of the people.
How do I call that?
Well, what that is marginalization for other communities.
Honorable Masdeo, that is not true policy.
That is not enough here to order that I'm part of our municipality and they cannot only because of our community that is there. You have to rise up for example. If you are making here at the earth today,
So, how do we do that?
the people in this area are working on everything. So we can just bring an authority just like in the beginning. Because enormous egg, when it is working in serious things and come and the great one, it must be very bad.
That is an exciting fairy tale that no one can answer about.
Don't worry. When the dramas went to bed to order, remember he was very handsome. He found to that no water in the river.
Hey. Do you think that people will get that?
People are very good people. Don't do that. And I'm writing papers and so on and anything.
And that's actually the man I told you about.
Don't worry. I'm so very thankful, my friend. All that is done by us. We must belong to Mother Divine and I'm not the rest of the people.
We have
clap for her. And clap for her. And what do accidents lead to? At the back, yes, at the back.
Accidents lead to pain, disability, suffering, and even death and the grave.
Yes, clap for him.
Yes.
So what does this mean? What does yes?
It means that when we disobey our Maker, we are likely to grieve just like those who disobey the traffic rules.
Very good. What else? Clap for him.
When we disobey the laws of the Creator, we are like disobeying the laws of those who made vehicles and the roads.
Very good. Clap for him. Now, the spirit that obeys the rules is known as the
Good spirit.
because it follows the rules of our Creator, the evil spirit leads to destruction and is known as the spirit of the beast. Are we together?
Yes,
Do
mistress.
you remember the handout they gave you to read last week?
Yes,
You
mistress.
can tell me what happened in the near Middle East in the 557 BC.
Yes, mistress.
Yes, brother.
The fall of Jerusalem after the long siege of Babylonia.
Clap for her. And why were they?
Silence.
They disobeyed the laws of our Maker.
Clap for him. And what laws are these? People at the back, what laws?
Do not kill.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
How many that
Yes.
Do not kill. Do not lie. Do not commit adultery. Love one another.
Yes, clap for him. And how did they disobey the Creator?
They started engaging themselves in sexual perversion, practicing corruption, robbery, and henceforth disobeyed the laws of the Creator.
Clap for her. Now, do we find similar acts of disobedience in our society today?
Yes, mistress.
Who can tell us an example?
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
some students wear talisman thinking
Yes, yeah, you.
yes.
Some students wear talisman thinking they will pass exams.
Clap for her birthday.
Class, will you excuse us for a moment?
Oh, we shall
Dismissed.
No, mistress. Yes, mistress.
Madam Nicole, these inspectors are taking a very important investigation and would like to look at your office. Please tell me whatever transpires. I never knew matters would escalate to this level. Like a dog in this spoon. Can you come here?
Well, Nicole, a wide range of accusations have been brought forward against you. I mean, Monday.
What have I done?
We will let you know the offenses you have committed once you are in police station. When the report records a statement, you have a right to remain silent of anything you say can be used against the court of law.
No.
There is worship the man talked to you yesterday.
Yes, it is.
Did you do what he told you to do?
No, I didn't.
Do you not have all legal and moral obligation to obey our leaders? And is it a criminal to disobey a man?
I have a legal obligation to do what is right. Our leaders must not tell us
I am giving you a chance to protect your life. Never fight a losing battle.
I have made a choice to do what is right, and that is not negotiable. The National Information Technology has already taken over the app, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I understand. That is. Yes? And are you aware that the signal of your phone was once located at the scene of murder?
That's preposterous. You cannot fabricate lies against me. I need to talk to the principal.
What about yesterday? The school generator. Yes, the school generator.
The school generator, what about it?
Who sold it?
That's ridiculous.
I do not so. The school generator has been stolen, and you and I know who stole it.
Listen here, Mr. Officer, huh? You cannot come in here and say that you will be of right, and if you continue to use it, this will be one of the darkest days in your career.
You are threatening a police officer,
You cannot come here and say that you will be of right that I am not.
and you know that you are confirming some of the
What
allegations.
allegations, sir?
Now, sometimes you appear to be too strong. Suitable to be a school teacher.
And what crime is that, eh?
Well, perhaps it's not a crime. But don't you think that's a bad influence on the student? Yeah? Officers? Yeah. Officers! Yes, sir! Give it! Come here!
Thank you, sir.
And come, huh? Stop! Where have you hidden it?
Hidden what?
The Samaritan. But whenever you see me personally involving an arrest, just know it is a serious matter. As serious as death. And you must be afraid. Very afraid.
I have not done anything wrong and I will not be intimidated.
Oh, woman. Show some seriousness. This is not a laughing matter. Now, are you willing to talk?
To talk about what?
The Samaritan.
I don't understand.
Where is it?
I don't understand you.
Where is it?
I don't know, but you can download it from the internet.
Then you must tell those two students to shut it up, right?
And why should I, huh?
Because it is the right thing to do.
Let me go.
Just as we thought. The Samaritan is your temperature, but the two students are just a cover-up. And it's a great danger to society.
No, when it comes to know who supplies air, it's not a crime.
I don't need any idiot of a Samaritan to help me do my job. I am a trained officer.
And when it comes to expose criminal gangs, it's not a crime.
That's no business of any monkey of a Samaritan. Just do what I told you. Are you stopping it or not?
But how can I stop something that is neither mine nor in my possession?
Just as I thought. Huh? The Samaritan is your brain. And you are hiding behind two innocent students. And this thing is a grave danger to the society.
So there is no personal agenda with the Samaritan. It is aimed at protecting and promoting the public.
Do you know you are a very dangerous woman?
I am just a simple teacher trying to do what is right.
So, are you stopping it or not?
No, I am not.
Oh. Officers!
Yes, sir.
Officers!
Yes, sir.
Arrest her! Arrest her! Arrest her!
As I always say, the world belongs to fighters.
I know I prefer to die rather than be an inmate or a homeless person.
Tough choice, are they not? But again, as I said, it is the nature of war.
Oh Lord, have mercy on me. I now have no more doubt that these are my last days. And my stomach has been running since the Samaritan came to town. And you know very well I'm diabetic. I can't even ask a week to eat.
you for making it impossible for Amdai and his team to meet and discuss the vote of no confidence in me. That was a job well done.
Yes, I assigned a contingent of officers upon the Red Eagle. In no time, there was no assault in the entire vicinity of the municipal headquarters. But they are regrouping. I got the intelligence that they are planning for a massive political riot at the most starting.
Oh, that should not happen. We must counter.
Relax, it won't, huh? We'll stop the rally the same way we aborted the
But
meeting.
if the rally turns out to be too big for the Red Eagle,
I will provide the ghetto boys. They'll be armed with broken pieces of glasses, scissors, hoes, hammers,
that
nails.
sounds great, eh?
Yes.
So let us make another round of smoke that guns. Must remind them that I live thunder and smoke in my way. But let's start some home that we burn at the museum and diesel to burn a couple of trees at the town center.
But unfortunately, that won't happen. I got some information from from a former colleague that the anti-corruption investigation bureau is soon moving here.
Justice Ian Tate holds the key out of this mess. I requested for a meeting.
I think I can ask some.
No missive intended, Your Lordship, but I should have projected for the oversight. But it is for your best interest that is in.
In my best interest? Yes, in your best interest. What interest? Let me ask you here, you will not take an offense over your ruling as regards the teacher. Convicting her would be a very bad miscalculation now, I think. Yes, we are very thorough in our work. And as I have repeatedly stated, the nature of our profession requires careful reflection on all dimensions of our matter. We are very strategic. Now, gentlemen, I've got some other appointments. Can we get straight to the point?
There is a plan to remove me out of the office, as you know. I still insist on instituting legal proceeding against my deputy Simon and his team. They have cut my corners here and there, and I have got that information. I apologize for revisiting this subject. I now request that you process the case I'm going to proceed so fast and secure the conviction so fast, preferably within a day, so that we can derail the plan to remove me out of office. And it turns out that the judiciary will very close to the success dealing with the matters attendant to the Samaritan. And we will also depend on you at a fee if needed. Gentlemen, I am a man of considerable learning and very mindful of my professional integrity. Do you think anyone will agree with us that it is possible to lodge a case, process it, and have it determined all on the same day? I understand you, Your Lordship, but the gravity of this matter calls for any possible expediency. And we have said it to many cases, you are well schooled in matters of law. Sometimes in working issues such as ambiguities, urgencies, benefit of terms, and such other legal terminologies. I must make decisions that are within a comfortable threshold of reasonable professional practice. I'm very sorry, but I may not be of any help to you. But Your Lordship, you have to know, the Samaritan has each one of us into a mess. No, I am not in any mess. I am a strategic thinker. I am talking about the rats and rodents you have. Lordship, rats of cages on prime boats and farm. I mean, someone has been rearing rats and rodents, then letting them loose into our lives and gone foul. I don't know anything about applying much at But are you not listed as one of the shareholders? You, together with Ivy, your long-standing business. Oh, yes, I remember. Flying much at farm. I got some shares there a while ago, but I am not involved in the actual activities of the farm. In fact, I don't know what happens there. Well, the truth is that I can't take the bullet to you. You understand? That is unfair. Right now, I have no other choice than to give instructions. Inspector Bebe, I'm now giving you instructions to go and secure all the cages on Prime Orchard Farm, arrest the managers and the owners of the farm.
Yes, Your Worship. I'll send officers immediately after this meeting.
What are you two trying to do? Intimidate me?
We are talking about rats and rodents, Your Lordship. Is that intimidation?
I'm very sorry, gentlemen, but I cannot be blackmailed.
Take note of this. I'm now recording my testimony. Sometime last year, he sent his mistress Ivy to me. Ivy requested to be awarded the contract of killing all the rats and rodents that were ravaging our rice and corn in our municipality. I told her that our municipality had no such problem and closed the matter.
I'm recording this testimony very neatly and carefully.
Several weeks later, I got a report that there was an invasion of rats and rodents wreaking havoc in our rice and corn farm. Before I could even take action, Ivy came back to me with the same request. He's a senior officer, so I decided to help his lady. Ivy got the contract. She was going to eliminate all the menace by using cats and pesticide through a company known as Butter-Based Contract, which we have now established. It is registered as a subsidiary of Prime Orchard.
Was it Ivy or I that
Yeah,
did the
we
contract?
tell us the difference. In the meantime, Your Worship, can you continue?
So, members of the municipal council rejected that bidding and insisted on a competitive bidding. He advised this lady to go to court. On the ground, the company had already made some costly commitments and procurement. The matter was brought to him. He wrote it given the idea of safeguarding the grain. The whole idea of single sourcing was permissible to the public interest.
Oh, I seem to remember the story. Is it the ruling that he emphasized at the cereals were being voraciously consumed at an alarming rate by rodents that had a very bad temper?
That is nonsense.
Exactly the ruling.
Yeah, ruling.
So Ivy got the contract. But the whole is that someone has been rearing rats and rodents, then letting them loose into our rice and corn farm. They killed some of these rats, paraded them for people to see, buried them, and so on. The whole idea was to undermine domestic production in order to replace demand for imported grain. As you know, Prime Orchard is one of the largest grain importers in our municipality.
Hey, I wonder why this story has not found its way to the Samaritan.
It is telling, in fact, is narrated in the most explicit manner.
The Samaritan? You must
I want to continue. I don't want to miss even a
So
single
the opposition leader, Honorable Bastille, got to know about it. They threatened to expose what they called Rodents Gate affair. Ivy paid them dollars to ensure that they never see anything about it. Made them shareholders of Prime Orchard Limited. That is how they were roped into the deal and kept long.
My goodness! I can't believe this. I won't get this kind of scandal.
At some point, Prime Orchard Limited was to be sued as the cause of these rats and rodents in our municipality. Justice Ian Jenkins, yes. In a complicated ruling full of reference, he held that the occurrence of pests was a natural phenomenon which could not be blamed on a particular land.
And he still maintains that he didn't know what was happening.
I was solemnly sure that
At length, these rats started to breed. And as you know, they breed very fast. We eventually landed into a huge problem. So this getting their ways into the granaries. Right now, we have countless rodents in our granaries. In fact, there are more than the twins.
Oh, that is a very crucial detail. I will put it this way. As the consequence action of the accused and the company, we now have many rodents that degrades in the municipality.
I could also put it more aptly.
What also interests me is the judgment that he pronounced in the contract between the part of our residents.
Also told a mutual friend that these rats are bad-tempered. Tempered. They have an attitude. So they only need specially trained cats to live with them.
Hey, what do you mean by specially trained cats?
According to the Samaritan, shortly after the ruling, he told a mutual friend that cats can learn how to somersault. That is during the combat with these temperamental rodents.
Somersault?
Upon my word.
That is preposterous. Oh my goodness, and now not put a rodent have a nothing.
Can you see the trick? Now, these rats were able to try food and farm. So they became domestic. They now we're not used to human beings. So they won't give you away if you tend to bring them anywhere in the garden or outside the neighborhood. You just manage like them. And to mislead the public, you say that this is an act.
And did he also say that they can have and puff? I wonder what kind of a rodent would that would just sit on his back, right on your trunk, then up and puff.
Also told a mutual friend that these rats are the sins of human.
And the crab. Oh, not and did he produce those special great cats?
Something like them, they usually became wine, they just use good creatures. No one has ever given birth to such creatures as this world. And you know, there are type of cats that can't eat chicken, that can't eat rats. They prefer eating chicken. That is
I don't you think that's the worst thing a judge can ever do?
There are many things here now. But introducing rats and rodents in our rice and corn farm was an act of great syndrome.
This cannot wait. I must run to the police station, and I will be sending 2 officers to come for you to bring you to the station. Well, they require to record a statement. There is nothing personal. We must enforce the law.
Your name must enter into the roll of dishonour.
Yes.
Now, this is the image of Justice Ian Taylor, the first lawyer who ever sat in the range in Marcus Bay. Your name must enter into this.
Yes. Wait, you know very well those are fabrications.
Then let us meet at the police station.
Wait, you are only doing this to make sure we are in this together. It is okay.
Can you give him a chance?
Under one condition. If you're going to convict Ramdai and his team for their involvement of the brain scandal, also convict Simon and Tate for air sub. Lawyers acting in Marcus municipality are ready to preside over their judge in the temple. We must deal with these guys. We must stop them to do that. Failure to that, you will know who I am. Is worship, their mercy, or to
Yes, I did it. Everyone else was doing it. Using public office from us affording. So I did it too. I danced to the tune of our time, but now look what it has gotten me. I planned on retiring early to enjoy my fortune. But now I'm like the foolish man in the good book who planned on retiring to enjoy his fortune. Only for our maker to call him and tell him, you fool. Can you imagine God calling you a fool? Oh, my stomach, take me my ulcers and back. Oh, my ulcers. Ah. Oh,
I can see a huge rodent. You see this rodent is coming for me. It's big. Thank you so much for watching. In no better position, you have been accused of countless crimes.
Samaritan. I believe that is an agreeable statement of intent.
I think we are all in agreement to that.
That being said, the next step is for us to agree the exact problem we are facing and seeking to resolve.
Let us just go straight to the point. I think the problem we are facing right now is the attempt to remove me out of office.
Far from it. The problem is your refusal to the relocation of budgets.
With due respect, I think our problem is the Samaritan.
Mr. Avesta is almost right. The school kids who made the app and the road.
I think the problem is that some of us have
What is that supposed to mean?
You mean the great scandal?
well, you may have
Stop it! There's no time for that plan here. They do that and we never see what it is.
Gentlemen, I think the problem here is that we are all at risk of being prosecuted.
Madame Nicole is a tough woman. She is a very, very tough woman. At the same time, she is very, very, very beautiful. You all should have a look at her legs.
I wish you could sometimes cross a breast.
I wish you could also have a look at her legs.
I've got information that the Chief Justice is contemplating taking legal action on all issues arising from the Samaritan. Gentlemen, a lot of things have been spilled. The wheels of justice must turn, or at least be seen done.
The local government has also scheduled a high level of meeting to discuss about the welfare of our municipality this evening.
Gentlemen, I think I have an idea. We can temporarily halt the use of the Samaritan.
How?
You all agree essentially that the Samaritan app is really intrusive. It's diverting one's personal information into the public domain, encouraging undue prodding into the person in contravention of the law.
That makes perfect sense. Yes, it does, though it will be challenged based on the right information.
It's a terrible argument, and besides, by the time I finish 5, you have already figured out something else. Did you try talking to the...
I tried, forget about it. I tried budging for mass, she could not hear. Now listen, gentlemen, this is what you are going to do.
Yes.
I want us to go there, just tell her we are on our way and we should be there immediately after 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no objection, but don't we need some boxes of chocolate
It
for...
won't learn, it will spoil everything.
Okay, shall we go?
My lord, see her. Let's go.
not my choice that this is happening.
Now listen, they're having to see. All of them, including that inspector who took it to the shelves the other day. Did you get to know what battles are fighting to ensure and defend the school's position? Do you think I was employed here to be a firefighter?
Okay, what should I do, madam?
I told you to think. The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. If you cannot turn the wind, then turn the sail.
What can I do, madam?
Don't give me a headache. They all come here to you and you will tell them whatever you want. The bottom line,
Madam Principal, you have visitors led by his worship the mayor.
show the thing. As you requested, I have arranged a meeting with Shanikol. However, I will not be able to sit with you in that meeting because I have school crucial matters that I need to attend to. Therefore, I do hope that we will come to a conclusion so that we can avoid this smooth destruction running of the school. If you will excuse me.
For the pleasure of receiving you all.
All is well, Nicole. On behalf of my colleagues, I beg your pardon for intrusion into your busy schedule.
Before you can get any further, Your Worship, I would like to apologize to Madam Nicole for the misunderstanding that led to her arrest and arraignment in court. After thinking through the whole incident, I've discovered that the mistake was mine. I'm sorry, Nicole. Sorry.
Apologies to Nicole. Sometimes I include people's thoughts, but it's never possible.
There was never anything personal in the Samaritan. It was a project of two of our students. Nonetheless, I accept your apologies and I also apologize for many of you.
Oh my, Madam Nicole.
Madam Nicole, I have seen you several times, but I am afraid that I'm not well acquainted with you. Oh my. I am therefore pleased to offer you this. The Samaritan. And we decided to consult on the possible changes we need to effect in order to secure a good future for our municipality.
Yes, I agree that there is urgent need for drastic change. Yes, I do.
Madam Nicole, if I put it this way, in the wake of the Samaritan,
No, things are not that way bad. Of course, we need her here for our contribution to the poor service delivery to people.
Yes.
Our question is which role you will
Play a very prominent role. I owe the people of Maracas municipality and our country as a large civic duty. I am ready to work with patriotic citizens to ensure accountability in the management of public resources.
Impossible! How?